Hello, Jenny, and hello, everyone there. Let's just take a deep breath and wait for the next friends who are arriving. Hello, Jenny. Today at 7, I'm speaking in English, and then at 8, I'm going to speak in Spanish. And thank you so much for being there, for being interested in the miracle that I'm going to share with you. Let's take an instant in silence, in true love, in forgiveness of the heart. I will be with you for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And my intention is to tell you a miracle story, to inspire you, to help you know me a little bit better, but also to bring a quiet, gentle, restful 30 minutes into your Sunday. So thank you so much for being there. We have a Spanish speaker with us, but she speaks English as well. So thank you so much. Okay, then 2 minutes past 7. I'm going to give it 3 more minutes and then we begin. Let's just stay in a gentle and quiet state. I am, for the first time, in a new space, and I'm very grateful and happy. And this is the first time for me using StreamYard, as we are doing now, so that this video can come through Facebook and also YouTube. So I'm not watching it. I'm watching it on YouTube. I can see that it's coming through. I don't know about Facebook. I'm trusting that it is. So thank you so much for being there. Thank you so, so much. So like the name tag says, my name is Carolina Corada, and I'm a seasoned A Course in Miracles teacher. You might know me, you might not, but I'm also the creator of the Ibiza Enlight Festival online, which is a celebration of the Course in Miracles. And I'm also the author of a book called The Discipline of Peace. And my invitation to you today was about a miracle. Hi, Petri. I don't know who Petri is, but hello. I'm speaking in English now. You can always come back at 8, like in an hour, if you don't speak English. So thank you so much. I am open to questions. You can write in Facebook. You can write on YouTube if you have a question or you want to add something. So I want to begin with a beautiful miracle story that has to do with a collaboration venture. If you are a Course in Miracles student, I'm pretty sure you have read in chapter 8, it says, healing is a collaborative venture. And it has to do with the collaboration, of course, of all of us, but basically it has to do with collaborating with your inner guide, allowing yourself to be guided. And this I have done, and I've gotten so many gifts from that, that I'm very, very grateful. So this story that I want to tell you today is about a day where in one of my very quiet states of my mind, I was having a conversation with my inner guide. For me, my inner guide takes the role, the face of Jesus. So I was having a conversation with him, and then a thought was brought into my mind. And he was telling me that there is only his voice. There's only one voice speaking through all of us teachers and students and people who open their heart to being guided. So he spoke about this, and he said, only one voice. This is my gift to you. And then the idea of a meeting, a gathering came into my mind. This was back in maybe in 2000, in the year 2000. 2000, 2001, quite a long time ago. I was living in Venezuela. And then this idea popped into my mind. And I thought, what is this? And I felt very sweetly that I was receiving a gift from my inner guide. And he was inspiring me to put together teachers from Venezuela. And the idea, as it came, was to put teachers together to teach together, to go beyond the judgment, to practice the manual for teacher that says that there is a teacher and a course for every teacher, and that we are all doing the best we can, and that for every teacher there is a student. So I made this proposition to the Course in Miracles teachers that I knew. And I got quite a negative response back then. Everybody said, no, you're crazy. We're not going to do that. We're not going to teach two teachers together. The whole idea was no. Okay, then. So in my own journey, this very radical no, I went inside and I thought, well, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe my teaching, what I'm receiving is that I'm not ready to actually teach with other teachers the way I'm being inspired to do. So I let that sit. At that time, I was not a traveling teacher. I worked only in Venezuela. And then suddenly, by invitation, I began traveling. My first trip was to Colombia. Then I was invited to the United States for 2 45-day tours. Then I was invited to Europe, and then invitations around the world began to happen, around Europe, around Latin America. I went to Mexico, I went to Brazil, I went around Colombia, around Venezuela, to the United States, and then to Europe. Different countries. I went to Sweden, Ireland, the UK, England, Germany, and as I traveled, the main focus was meeting the local teachers. It was usually the local teachers who got in contact or knew me by some sort and invited me. At this time, when I began, internet was not what it is now, and Facebook did not exist. I don't know when Facebook came to be, but I didn't have a Facebook until way past 2008. So it was a word of mouth. And I was invited and hosted by these teachers, and I fell deeply in love and in connection with each one of them. I remember Leo Toniolo in Brazil, in Salvador da Bahia. They invited me there, and I stayed with him, and I went to his group, and I just loved him so much. And I thought, when I left, I'm never going to see this wonderful teacher. And then I traveled to other places around Colombia, in the United States. I was hosted by David Hofmeister and his foundation. And it was so lovely to be with all of them. And then I traveled to Europe, and I was hosted by teachers around Spain and in the UK. And I thought, wow, I love them all. I had beautiful experiences with each one of them. I could feel my heart opening and my mind opening to the possibilities of all of them being right in the way that they taught, because the way they taught, and I always had the opportunity during my trips to attend their classes and their workshops, and then they would come to the ones they had organized for me. So I came to see that my heart and my mind were opening to seeing the truth in each one of them, and seeing how beautiful their teachings were, even though they were so different to the way I taught. And the thought of the one voice kept coming back into my mind. It's always the same voice speaking through the teachers. And I thought, beautiful. How beautiful to recognize the voice of truth in every single teacher. This was my experience. And then with time, I moved to Spain, then I moved to Ibiza. I live in the island, on the island of Ibiza right now for 9 years now. I arrived on this island in 2012, and so did a UK Course in Miracles student called Steve Thompson. And we were talking one evening, and I told him that this idea of the only one voice event kept coming into my mind. And he said, let's do it. And I said, you mean the event? And he said, yeah, let's do it. I will help you, he said. And that was the perfect moment. I felt I was ready. And then I thought, yes, and we could do a party where I can invite all of my friends that I had seen in different countries, invite them, and they can all meet, because I had them all in my mind. I thought, oh, my beautiful Leo from Brazil has never met my beautiful Jose Luis from Madrid. I wish they could meet. And beautiful Ian has never met beautiful so-and-so in Spain. So it started coming together. And as it did, the miracles came into place. And this is why this conversation that I'm having with you today is called I Offer You a Miracle. What is a miracle? As we go with the Course in Miracles, a miracle is a change of perception. And tell me how you feel. You can write, you can ask me, but you can also tell me about your own miracles. A change of perception. In the past, 10 years before, when I tried to bring an event where we would put together the teachers, this was back in Venezuela, I felt the teachers were not ready, but I took responsibility for me not being ready to put together so many forms and different ways of teaching the course. And then in this precise moment, in 2012, when Steve came to live in Ibiza and we joined as partners to put together this festival, it was perfect. And he was the one who said, we can do a festival. And I said, yes, a festival, that's wonderful. And then I felt hello, Karen, I felt all the rigidity, the stiffness of my own mind crumbling down as I opened myself to discovering how can that be. And then immediately I began getting ideas. And of course, this collaborative venture between your inner guide and yourself, plus the partners and the powerful companions that surround you as this begins happening, a very important image came to my mind. And this was an image of a Course in Miracle teacher living in Barcelona. And she had a festival, but her festival was a yoga festival. But she had Course in Miracles within her yoga festival. So I was on tour December 2012, and Steve and I thought, okay, let's go visit Isabel and ask her. Her name was Isabel Solana. So I told her, she came, yes, you can come stay in my house, we can talk. And then she was talking to me and she said, yes, I can help you put together a Course in Miracles festival. And I thought, wow, I've been pulling this idea for so many years. My mind was feeling a little resentful. Oh, I'm not finding the powerful companions to do this. And time went by. I took responsibility for me not being ready, and a miracle happened in my mind, and suddenly I had all these powerful companions waiting to be helpful. So there was her, she gave me all the ideas, and then she told me, there's this guy who is the core organizer of my yoga festival in Barcelona, but he lives in Ibiza where you live. And I said, I can't believe it. So when we came back to Ibiza, Steve and I, we met with this third person. His name is Salvador. And it's funny, that name, because Salvador means savior. So he was actually saving us from our ignorance in terms of how to put a festival. Like, what is a festival? A feeling, an experience, especially with the course that traditionally the course had been taught in a very, how could I say, in a very solemn way, with the podium, with the audience sitting very quietly. And in my heart, what was coming to me was open, joyful, laughing, sitting in cushions, hugging, dancing. And Salva was key to that, Salvador, the savior. So he brought in this sense of festival, and we started working together. This was January 2013. Everything came together in such a way that very soon, by February, we had a venue, we had the cooks, we had the accommodation, we had everything more or less. So now we had to contact the teachers. This was the most joyful miracle for me. I started calling the teachers that I hadn't seen in years. I called so-and-so. I called so many because not everybody was available. So I called and I called and I called, and people were telling me, "You're doing a festival on A Course in Miracles? Isn't that a little bit crazy?" And I thought, well, it's guided. And when you are in collaboration with your inner guide, you need to follow instructions. So it was fun. It was three of us putting it all together at that time, Salvador, Steve, and myself. But I was the one listening to the instructions, and I would say yes, and this other thing no. And that's how we worked. And as we worked, the ego really hit us hard. And we were struggling, the three of us. We were disagreeing on so many things. We were fighting, yes. We were judging each other, yes. But there was something that was very clean, clear, and very key to everything we did. We prayed. Wow. We prayed every time. We prayed honestly from the heart. We surrendered the judgment we had against each other. We surrendered the healing opportunities that were popping in. We projected onto each other's healing needs, and the three of us worked together in prayer to have this happen, to go beyond our personal struggles, our ego struggles, to achieve the goal of having this festival come together. So I started calling teachers, and there was one call that I made. Well, this one I didn't make, I'm sorry. Steve made a really strange call. He called Scott Grace. Scott was not, I didn't know him at the time. Steve was very fond of Scott and called him and said, "Scott, we're doing this festival and we want you to come." And Scott wanted to know if there were famous people, who were the big names, because this was the habit to invite. If you're going to have a big event, you have to have big names. And we didn't have any big names, because the guidance from within was to have a party, a coming together, not a gathering where you came to see a particular teacher, but a gathering where you came to be together, to heal together, to let go of the judgmental mind, to have teachers bond and work together. So we did not invite any famous names. So that's Scott. He said, "Okay, and are you going to pay me?" And we had absolutely no funds. We were going to pay his trip and his accommodation and food, but we could not pay him a fee. So he said, "Okay, fine. Yeah, I can't come." Yeah. And that was that. And then he called us the next week, and something very miraculous happened, because at that time, especially Scott, like the rest of us, we prayed on everything and we surrender everything. And Scott later told us that he thought, "Oh, these guys are crazy. They don't have any big names. No one is going to come to their event. It's not going to happen." But he surrendered this. And then he told us that a few days later, when he was in prayer, he went to his inner guidance, to Jesus, and said, "Oh, what would you have me do?" And it came very clear to him. And the guidance said, "Consider the festival again. It is my festival. I will get the teachers there, and I will get the participants there, and you are meant to come. So please consider and call them back." And he called us back. And we were so surprised and so happy to have him. Wow, that is another beautiful miracle. The miracle of changing the way you think. You resist something, you let it go, and then it might come back to you because it's yours if you allow your guidance to guide you, and if you follow through what the guidance is suggesting. So here we are. We went a little crazy. I remember Salvador saying, "Are you inviting 20 teachers? Really?" He thought that was too much. And we were bringing people from Canada, from California to Ibiza, which is quite far away in the Mediterranean from the United States or from Canada. And we did. And we had no funds for this. So for the first time, we did a crowdfunding. And that was huge. And it was a huge argument. Salvador had never done crowdfunding. He had never worked on volunteering and having people donate. So he was very tense about this. He was angry. He said, "You're turning me into a beggar. I don't want to do this." And we prayed again on it. And somebody sent us a beautiful, very inspiring video from a musical group that Salvador knew. And the lady was doing a video asking for crowdfunding. And we opened up to it and we raised enough funds without much effort. And we covered all the expenses by the teachers for the festival to put everything together. It was quite amazing to go through that. So, wow, I can only say how grateful I am for these two men who were willing to pray with me, to go beyond our limitations and to allow for the miracle to happen in our minds. Then the date came, and it was the first time that we were opening up to, I'm sorry if I get a little emotional because it's a beautiful memory of a beautiful miracle that I offer back to you. The day came when we were going to open. It was in a tent. All the cushions were set out. We had beautiful flowers, beautiful decor. But it was a festival, very laid back. No stage, no VIP treatment, no podium. Everybody was equal. We were sitting all in a circle. It was a humongous circle because there was 145 of us. Unbelievable. The festival that many people said we were crazy to organize was happening. And I remember the tent where we all met was by the pool, let's say, and it was down there. And then the accommodation was up on a hill, so we were down at the pool, and I was standing there waiting for the people to come down when it was time, like 6 p.m. And I began seeing all this herd of people walking down from the hill. And I saw them, and I knew everybody's name. It was my party. I'm sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. It's so joyful. I could not believe it. Those 145 people were teachers and friends and students, and I knew every single one personally. I had met them in their own countries, in their own cities, in my past 10 years teaching, and they had come as powerful companions to be witness my witness to a change of mind, to going from conflict to love. Amazing experience, a huge transformation. So I wanted to share this with you today because we speak of the miracle, and the miracle is nothing more than a change of mind, a change of thought. And when this changes, the experience you receive from that change is just love and peace of mind and joining. I think those of us who were there in that initial festival in 2013, we were changed forever. We gathered together by invitation of Jesus to join in a non-judgmental state of mind. We joined with the intention to let go of our personal opinions of who was better and who was worse. We joined to love each other and go beyond our frontiers. I remember there's a testimonial from that initial festival. I saw it recently because since we're putting on the festival online, I was looking at the testimonials, and there's a lady from Colombia and she did not speak English. Our festival is both Spanish and English always. And she in the testimony, she says, I never thought I could communicate and love someone whose language I did not speak. So it was so beautiful what happened there. And thank you, Irma, for writing us a message. Let me see if I can share it. It's a little bit long. It says, that's when you know what kind of people really makes a difference in the world. They don't need anything to ask or ask for anything. They're just givers from their hearts. Same like you. Yes, thank you so much, Irma. Because yes, that experience was filled with givers. We were giving each other the opportunity. So that was the first festival. That's the greatest miracle I've ever experienced, because I was in collaboration with my inner teacher all the time in collaboration with my inner teacher. And I would listen to what I was guided to do. And many times I didn't agree, but then I had my other two witnesses, my two friends, Steve and Salvador, and we would take all decisions together. And that was quite a challenge. So I want to leave this challenge and this story with you today. My intention was to come and tell you the origin of this miracle, and of course also invite you to what we are doing this year. This year we are bringing this experience online, and again, what we have been guided to do was to film the festival in reality style. Yes, we filmed the festival with 3 cameras, as if we were doing a Netflix series called The Festival. Okay, maybe someone will do that. The festival, and then you have all the different episodes, and it's live, and the participants are there, and they're interacting. It's not just teachers facing the camera, it's all of us sharing, talking, interacting. IntroDanza, which is the way I study and teach the Course in Miracles. It's the evenings that we put together, the shows and the performances were put together by the participants. And the group prayers are there also. All the teachers' master classes. And those videos were lost. We filmed them, we edited them, and they were lost. And we recovered them this year. This is the year of my greatest miracle, because I am able to offer it to you for free. So I offer you a miracle I offer you the Ibiza Enlight Festival online completely for free. I trust that when you look at it and when you see it and when you experience it, because you will be moved by what you will see, you will know the origin of it and you will remember me speaking to you from my heart with this gift that Jesus gave me. And I'm going to write, because today, Enlight Online, I'm going to show you the website. And I'm going to ask you to take a peek. Just take a peek at lightonline.com. Take a peek. Allow yourself to be inspired and discover that we have a festival. This year, it will be the last one in Ibiza. So for me, it's a closing. At least this is what I feel right now. I feel that the Ibiza as a venue has come to an end. We've had 6 festivals here, 6 editions, and this is the last one online. And I'm so happy that we've decided to offer it for free from the 5th to the 10th of October. I want to invite you to come and join us. Allow yourself to be moved. Allow yourself to be transformed with the prayers, with the love, with the laughter and the tears from all those beautiful participants who offered their own experience to you. I will go now. These videos will remain here. And send me your messages and your doubts and your questions if you wish. And we shall see ourselves inside the online festival, inside the Enlight Online, because it is inside where the miracles happen. God bless you all. And I'll see you in the Enlight Festival online. I love you. Thank you so much.